Hello everyone, this here is a recording I'm doing for you. Is all for the E-Smart BCC coil. It's how to rebuild it and have it successful. A lot of people have had problems rebuilding it. Well, this here will give you a successful rebuild. First off, start off by taking your cap off, which some actually come as a two-piece cap, like this one. You set those aside so you don't lose them. Then you're going to want to take your coil jig, put them in there. Take your little chimney, wiggle it until it comes off. As you can see, there's the old coil. I'm going to take it off the jig now. And okay, there's the bottom piece, which you will want to have scissors from a nail clipper set or a pair of tweezers or something like that to work with for this. You'll want to get them in there and just pry it up a bit. Until you can grab a hold of it and pull it out. Once that piece is out, you'll want to set it with your caps and that, and you'll see what is inside, and then you'll want to use tweezers to remove your old wick and coil. And if the tweezers don't work, you may want to use a small flathead screwdriver. Preferably a type from an eyeglass repair kit. There we go. Now we got that coming out. And you'll notice the little rubber piece inside, and you'll definitely want to keep that piece in. You do not want it falling out. So from the bottom, what you're going to do is you're going to notice where your holes are here, little slots for your wick to go through. On one side, aligned with the holes, you'll want to just pry it away a little bit. Just wiggle your screwdriver through so it looks like that, and push it off just a little bit to the side. I've got a pre-made coil, or my wicks that already pre-done. So I got two 3mm wicks wrapped in 30 gauge Kanthal wire. It's only 5 wraps. On here you'll want to stuff one part of your Kanthal wire down along the side of your screwdriver, and the other part you're going to want to go right down the central hole. So hopefully everyone can see how those legs are sitting in there right now. And then you just push that down in, remove your screwdriver. So now you have the one on the outside of your rubber insulator and one down the center. You want to make sure that the one going down the center is going to be centered within the top area of your coil. So you want this side here running down the center, and this side here running down along the outside of the insulator. Now you want to make sure that you pull it tight, so you got a little bit of a gap there. At this point you can add in a flavor wick to prevent leakage, which I'll grab a couple pieces of flavor wick out. I tend to use 1 mil wick for flavor wick. You don't want too much of it, you just want a couple pieces to prevent a little splash. And right, cut a couple pieces here. One. There's two. Okay, got 2 pieces of 1 mil wick, which I'm just going to place on top. Like that. But before I do that, I'm going to show you how to properly cut your leads so that it works. You'll want to use your scissors and get right down in there as close to the rubber as you can without actually cutting the rubber. Which, this here is the most difficult part of the process. If I can just get that to cut. Like I said, I know this is the most difficult part. On any other coil, I would say use nail clippers, but on this particular coil, not so good idea. It may take you a while to cut it. There we go, there's the outer. And now I gotta get it, that inner one. Which your central one, you want to keep it as far away from your other wire as you can. So I'll grab a hold of that and pull it over. There we go. And I know that's probably a little blurry, but it's down inside the insulator, just below the surface. Now you can take a little metal post, push it down in the center, keeping your wire to like up against the insulator. opposite side from where your other wire is. And it's a little difficult. Okay. Now that that's in there, I'm going to stick it on my voltage tester. It's reading a 1.8. You don't want it reading below 1, because chances are it won't work at that point. And I'm going to grab one of my batteries. See all the smoke. Give her a dry burn like you do on any other coil. You'll want to do this here a few times to make sure that you get all the excess chemicals off. Make sure your wires do not touch the outer casing of your coil. Otherwise, you'll end up shorting it out. As you can see, they glow red. And okay, no more smoke. Okay, it's a little warm, but I'm going to take that off there. It's a little warm. Hook it back up to my coil jig. Okay. I'm going to take my 2 pieces of flavor wick. And this, remember, the flavor wick in this case is just to prevent you from getting a little splash of your juices. Everyone keeps wondering, why is it always splashing when it gets hot? Well, it's because the flavor wick wasn't put across. And after that, you just want to make sure that you get your stack back in place. It's a little difficult here. And make sure that when you have your coil in place, make sure that it's going to be below your stack, because you don't want your coil touching your stack, or that'll short it out as well. That's where a lot of people probably have gone wrong, not taking that into consideration. Okay. There we go. Stack's on there. I take that off my coil jig. Make sure the stack's on tight. Take my scissors. Trim off the excess right down to just outside your casing. I don't mind working with a little extra wick here, because anything that's not used or that would normally be considered scrap, I can always end up using it later on as a little plug if there's a little splash. Remember, this is how you successfully rebuild the E-Smart BCC coils. And just make sure that enough down at the bottom is trimmed that it's not going to interfere with any threading for when you go to put it together. And anybody who needs any advice on these can find me on the e-cigarette forum. His name is Ashton R. Andrews. My daughter Cindy and I were ones that figured out how to do this. She was able to get in to do the snipping of the wire, which was the hardest part of it all, since she's got such small fingers. And I was one who figured out how to do the electrical part of it. So at least now she's got a little credit where credit is due. And there we go. A successful rebuild. And there it is. And now you can fill it up with anything you want and put her back together. And there you go. A successfully rebuilt E-Smart BCC coil. By the way, this here is video number 2. Thanks and have a nice day.